What is up, y'all? GoofyRhexxi here, and hope everybody is doing well. So we just got the news and an update here from Scopely about Marvel Strike Force, about what's going on with the Dark Dimension 4 rewards. It doesn't feel very good right now, and I think that's kind of the consensus for the entire community. So right here, if you haven't seen it already, hello all, as stated in the blog on Friday, Watch Reminex Shake It was the first to defeat Dark Dimension 4. Congrats again, of course. And with his input, we created a method within the game to let you choose between Ghost or Cull Obsidian character shards. To earn them, there will be a daily login calendar for 14 days that will reward Valiant credits, which can be redeemed to open one of 2 orbs that respectively contain either Ghost or Cull Obsidian character shards. You will be able to open a total of 4 orbs by the completion of the calendar, and each orb will contain 25 character shards for a total of 100 character shards. You can choose to do all 100 shards of Ghost or 100 shards of Cull Obsidian. Now, this was a big one. If you're planning on going for Ghost character shards with the intention of using her for Jubilee's legendary event, if you log in every day once the calendar starts, you will be able to receive up to 75 Ghost shards before the end of the Jubilee legendary event. And down here, just like salutations and stuff like that, right? This was frustrating, I think, for a lot of us in the community. I needed 100 shards of Ghost. Obviously, this is not going to reward me enough for me to be able to get, enough shards on her for me to be able to use her in the legendary event. So I'm going to have to find some other alternative ways, right? A lot of refreshes when it comes to the war store, or just, spending money, right? Which I think ultimately is where the frustration, I think, is from the community. In fairness, I don't think that we should have expected that we were going to get a calendar before the legendary event anyways. I think just based on the practice that they've done before, that was just not something that I was anticipating. But I think this right here is more frustrating because of a series of things that have been happening in this game, right? We talked about it last week, the character release method in terms of multiple blitz releases, a lot of other things, right? Like this, there's been bugs, there are, just a bunch of other stuff going on in the game right now that I think just have a lot of people just feeling sort of kind of like you're just doing this for sales, right? Skill Military Team. I think a lot of people are still frustrated over Skill Military, them being marketed as a team that could beat the Marauders, and, a lot of people investing into a team like that and then not getting the results that they desired from that particular makeup, where, a lot of people invested gear tier 14 materials and 13s or whatever, like high investment T4s, and yet the team still underperformed, in those particular areas. And I think, when you're in this, in conjunction with now releasing a new team in the Shadowland team that is once again marketed as being able to beat the Black Order team, and then also being able to beat the Marauders team, I'm reserved now. Like, I was excited about that notion yesterday, but now I'm just like processing it all. I'm like, wow, like I don't know if that is a good, like if we can all fully feel confident about this. And I want to be confident about it, but I'm not. And I know that a lot of you guys are probably also not confident about it too. Now, Shadowland team in general, they look like a good team. I'm just not sure if they're going to be as good to beat Black Order, considering where Black Order teams are right now, right? Gear tier 14, 600, 700K if you are late game, and mid game, you're still facing 300 to 500K teams. So you're going to have to get two new characters up to snuff, and then invest into some other characters that you probably have not even invested into on your roster. And not just the gear, but then also T4s. I went through the list looking at Moon Knight, and I'm like, man, if this team is going to be able to counter Black Order or counter Marauders, I want to need some significant investment in terms of T4s, not just gear, right? Look at this, right? I mean, look at the ultimate ability. You want them to be able to clear all positive effects off each enemy with this ultimate ability. You're going to need a T4 for that. Also, the increased damage that he's going to get, you're going to need a T4 on that ability. If you want, to have good health on the team or additional health on that team, 10% max health to himself, 10% to Shadowland allies, you're going to need a T4 on that one, right? So that's 2 T4s right now on 2 new characters that you also have to get to probably high levels in order for them to be effective, in war. And then you look at, White Tiger, and look at this, man. I mean, before T4, that's fine, but you really want the additional piercing damage, per Shadowland ally. So you're going to want a T4 of that with her passive ability. She doesn't speed up the rest of she gives focus to Shadowland allies, but she does not give that extra speed that you probably want, because Black Order, they go fast, they do a lot of damage. Like, you want to be able to do that, with this team. Daredevil, so that's 2 on White Tiger, right? 2 on Moon Knight, that's 4 T4s. 2 other T4s on him here, because without the T4, he doesn't give counter to Shadowland allies. And the passive ability, he doesn't speed up Shadowland allies without a T4 on that passive ability. Elektra, same. She doesn't give stealth or evade to Shadowland allies without that passive being T4'd. And then with her ultimate, I just feel like you want to have disrupt for 2 turns as opposed to just disrupt for 1 turn. So that's at least 2 T4s with her. Night Nurse as well. She doesn't proc. Her passive doesn't proc when an enemy goes below 50%. It doesn't proc, if that ability is not T4'd. And then with her special ability, she doesn't clear negative effects if that is not T4'd. So it's just, you talk about the ghost thing, the shards, that doesn't feel very good. The legendary event being moved up to next week, Tuesday, or the 9th, February 9th, doesn't feel, I think it's the 9th, right? It's because it's 6 days in game. So that would equate to then Tuesday at the start of the event. It just doesn't feel very good, guys, right now, where this is concerned. This new team, they look good, but not as confident because of skill military already before, and then also just like stuff like this in game. We saw this last week in the blog post. Red Stars, they're going to increase the difficulty now for legendary events. So now you have to invest into your Pimtech team a little bit to just at least a 60 and probably gear tier 10 or 11, right? But then 4 Red Stars, bro, we don't even control Red Stars. So how in the world is that a requirement or a recommendation for what you need, to be able to beat, that? And you might say, well, it's probably not that difficult, but think about it from this perspective. If they are saying that this is their recommendation, they have tuned it so that this is what you might need. This is what you probably need in order to be able to complete or compete, or complete that legendary event, right? That doesn't feel good. And also, I know we got Doom Raids yesterday. Look at Doom Raids now. We can't even attempt this. There are top 50, top 100 alliances that are struggling to just get 30% in Doom Raids. And I'm all for new content. And there being a new content being more challenging, but not impossible almost, right? The recommendations here are level 80, gear tier 14, doable, right? These are doable. Ability 7, what on every ability, bro? Like what? 6 Red Stars? How? We don't control the Red Stars that we get. We don't. Yeah, we can promote characters, but we're not getting an abundance of Red Stars in order for us to be able to get these characters to 6 Red Stars to be able to compete here. And the ISO A class T1 level 3, that's doable. It is what it is. It's doable, right? But this just looks insane to me right now that these are the recommendations, considering too that you have to, I mean, I can't see it right now. I can't see the map right now, but there are trait requirements, right? That you have to, so you're going to have multiple traits that can actually do this raid. Bro, this is insane. This is absolutely crazy to me. I don't like the direction that this is taking right now. And like I said, this is not a rant. This is just more of me just expressing my concerns, for what they're doing right now. And doesn't feel very good. I'm confident about Shadowland being able to beat other teams, not confident about what they're marketed to be, but I'm hoping that they're going to be good. But the Ghost thing, the Red Stars thing, the back-to-back character releases, the Blitz, the form of their releases being Blitz doesn't feel very good. And yeah, I'm just hoping that they're going to start to look at things differently, not just worry about their money, not just worry about what's in their pockets, and start to actually really focus on what we as a community want. Fix the bugs, man. Fix the bugs. Slow down the release of characters. You know, if you're going to require things to need red stars, then make sure that you are going to supply us with more red stars so that we can open them, so that we can land the red stars that we need on those particular characters. That's all I'm asking, guys. But listen, let me know what your thoughts are. Obviously, I wanted to make a video because I want you guys to also know how we feel, you know, as content creators too, that we also feel your pain. There's also frustration, you know, from us as a community where this is concerned. And I'm hoping that things are going to get better, guys. But listen, I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you guys for continuing to play the game. Hopefully things will continue to, will not continue, but will get better, you know, and they'll start to listen to us, right? Appreciate y'all much. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe.